Hi everyone, my name is Andi Pateña-Matheu. Join me as we learn and unlearn things and make new discoveries. This is AnDiscoveries. Episode is a discovery of two beautiful gems in the country. We will be joined by the recently crowned Hiyas ng Pilipinas Miss Tourism Queen International Philippines 2022 and Miss Elite Philippines 2023. Let's all welcome Phoebe Godinez.
Phoebe Tutor Godinez from the home of the Philippines' first hero, Lapu-Lapu City!
And Azriel Coloma.
Azriel Atira Martinez Coloma from the home of the happiest people in the world, your Hiyas ng Tacloban City!
Hello everyone!
Nice to meet you, Miss Andi.
Thank you so much for
Nice
having
meeting
us.
you too, and congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you guys feeling right now? Has it already sunk in that you girls won the crown of Miss Tourism Queen International Philippines and Miss Elite Philippines?
For me, it hasn't sunk in yet, as I've said so many times, because it's really unexpected. I'm so shocked with the news. I really wasn't expecting I would be blessed with this opportunity to work with the Hiyas ng Pilipinas organization. But I'm grateful. I'm starting to feel it actually, especially being here in this interview. So, yeah.
Ikaw, Phoebe,
Yeah.
you sink in na?
It's sinking in. And we've been doing activities ever since. We haven't stopped. Or it was only yesterday we had a break, a rest day, and then we had the opportunity to interview with you, Miss Andi. So it really makes us feel like we are responsible to carry the crowns and carry out our duties as Hiyas queens.
Take us back to the moments leading to that coronation night. Do you guys have a ritual every time you join pageants, just for luck?
Since it was my first time joining a pageant, for me, like something to calm me down or something that I always need to do before a pageant is like call my mom, like talk to her, because she's the one who calms me down. And at the same time, sweets. It's the one that keeps me energized. Yeah, like especially dark chocolate and ice cream. I really need that to like.
So magbaon ka sa backstage?
Magbaon ko. I'm the one like giving also. I gave her, and then I gave also sila Ate Marla and other candidates as well.
So you're not strict with regards to your diet as far as sweets are concerned?
With sweets, I think I really need them to keep me energized, but during the Hiyas ng Pilipinas journey, I tried my best not to eat rice, but there were times where I couldn't help it, but I tried my best.
I know the food that they serve us are so good, but knowing that we are in a competition and our bodies have to look good, it's also really hard to restrain yourself from eating lechon. Especially, my goodness.
During last December.
Okay, I heard Carla Henry's spills. She mentioned that in all of your events, na-joy lechon.
Every day lechon, especially last December. Every day lechon, we couldn't help it. I think I've gained too much weight that time.
Wow! Pero back to calling your mom, did you girls have access to your phones during the coronation night?
Yes, we did.
Yes,
Pero
we did.
did it help na you won't check lang sa on your phone tungod sa kakulba? Would it ease you better if you get to talk to your loved ones?
I feel like it would ease me better to talk to my mom, but then after talking to her, my makeup artist at his car was like, "Give me your phone." He didn't want me to be distracted or like, because he felt like it would make me more nervous. So yeah, he took my phone, and I was like thinking, I need to talk to mom like that. But then yeah, I made it, thankfully.
Right.
Ikaw, Phoebes, do you have like a ritual for luck every time you join a contest?
A ritual for not really specifically. I know the night before my mom would also call me and encourage me and tell me like, you're going to do well, just believe in yourself and keep your energy, because that has actually been my problem when joining pageants, is that in my mind I think I'm doing well, but I don't know, sometimes my body just can't keep up with the expectations of what I think, so I don't come out as energetic and people would say I'm like Mika, or I don't look, like I'm not performing that well as they expect. So I developed my new ritual, which is to listen to my mom, and take anything that will energize me, such as coffee, Berocca, stress tabs, and like anything. And like for the next competition, I think I'll drink Sting or Monster. Yeah, so to do something for my energy. So that would be my next ritual.
Lagi, kay kapoy ba ya? On stage, diba?
Yeah.
And then, just, I recall joining school pageant before.
Yes.
Magkurog imong baba.
Oh yeah! That was me all the time.
Pero sakit na kayo. But how do you sustain the energy aside from the things that you intake?
To me, it's the adrenaline, because so much pressure is on you on the final night, because you'll never know, any mistake you can do will bring down your score. So knowing that, the pressure really pushes me to do my best, and I just feel in the moment. And the music is also really good, so I'm just gonna strut the stage like
True.
right?
Production number.
Right, yeah, that really wakes up our energy.
As for me, what really inspired me for that moment was like the people who believe in me, because like I heard so many people cheering like Taklaman, like especially my friends were on like at the top at the Gen Ad place, and then I heard drums, I heard people like not only that part of this the ballroom, but also around the place. I've been hearing like so many Taklaman, and that really like pushed me to do better.
So you've been feeding from their energy.
Yeah.
Right.
What were the things that were going on inside your heads pag announcement na sa top, let's start with the top 16.
Hiyas ng Lapu-Lapu City! Hiyas ng Tacloban!
Like, what do you usually think of?
I was praying. I was like, please, Lord, give me this opportunity. Like, let me be part of it. And I was like, I kept on praying, asking Lord to, like, if it's for me, then please help me also, like, with my continuous journey in this.
Ikaw, Phoebe.
Same. I also do pray silently, and at that point, that's when I realized I have to keep stepping up my game, because there will only be top 5 from top 16. So I'm like, I better do something really nice for the judges. So I'm focusing on what I can do and how I can impress the judges, and just be in the moment and trust in God's plan. And hopefully, and good thing He chose me to be your next Miss Hiyas Tourism Queen.
Sa Q&A ba, do you guys listen to the contestants before you? Or murag nag-focus agad mo sa kung isulti?
We were like good headphones.
Yeah, but for the casual interview.
Yeah, for the
for
casual
casual
interview ba,
interview.
during the top 16, di ba, you get to
Oh,
listen.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't listening at all.
So you were already
Yeah, I was just like stiff, smiling there, like it was like shaking here as well. And then all I kept thinking was like, let me answer, please, Lord. Like, let me answer the question properly. Guide me, like, with your Holy Spirit and all that.
Right. It actually helps me when I observe how the other candidates answer, because in that way I can kind of assess in what way I can be better than them. Like if they're not talking as loudly, maybe I can do that the next time. So they'll see like, oh, okay, this is quite an improvement from the past candidate. But you know, that's what I'm just thinking. That's just my style of, you know, how I talk.
So you think it's more difficult if you'd be one of the firsts to answer the Q&A portion?
To me, yes.
Yeah, I think so.
How do you prepare for the Q&A portion of every pageant that you join? Phoebe?
Ever since the screening, I've started focusing on Q&A training, and I started training with Elaine Fonte for Q&A, and then unfortunately he was busy and had research to do abroad, so we stuck with Dexter Alasas for my Q&A plus personality development training, because he knew that yes, it's good to sound good, but it's also good to act, you know, like a queen as well, and develop your personality, because people would want to see your authentic self.
Yeah,
even
the sincerity of the answers that you
Right.
give them.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
As for me, I keep calling my trainer, Dominic Roa. I keep calling him, like messaging him, like spamming him with messages like, when can we have our next session? Like, can we do it today? Like, after we did it on this day, I want it again the next day, because I felt like I needed to like do it more. And then he's always like, don't be too hard on yourself. You already have your opinions and your thoughts. It's just how you organize it, everything. And then I'm like, no, I still want the session because I felt like I really needed it. Like I felt like I still needed more for me to do better. And then he's been really there to support me. Like, don't be too hard on yourself, which really helped me. And then before the coronation, like when we were about to go out for the production, I was also talking to him before I talked to him. I was like, Tito, Tito, help me please.
But is that always the part that you're most anxious about in every pageant? Is it really just the Q&A?
Yeah.
Please share with us your idea of sustainable tourism and how will you make it possible?
My idea of sustainable tourism would focus more on turning trash into fashion. I myself, as a model, have modeled different clothes made out of cloth, and I was thinking, how can we recycle these and make clothes that fit women's bodies and not make women fit into the clothes? And to make that happen, that is why I have joined Hiyas ng Pilipinas with a very competent team and very passionate people to help me achieve that. And I am definitely looking forward to it. Thank you.
All right. Hiyas in Tacloban City, because you have traveled a lot already, can you name me the most beautiful place you've ever been?
So the most beautiful place is actually Tuberan that we've been because as we were camping out there, we also do camping actually, and I woke up to a very gloomy morning into where I would see clouds. It seemed like waves on top of mountains, and it was so beautiful. It made me appreciate how the environment and the nature is something that we should value. That is why I want to inspire everyone as well to help preserve our nature, to help preserve our environment, and to value it more, and to do what we can to help save it. Thank you.
Or what's your favorite portion of that night?
The production number.
Oh, yeah.
I love dancing, and I'm glad that Sir Junjat put me in the front because I'm the one who really likes to feel whenever I dance, you know. I like to give it my all, and I just I love the music. How about you?
For me, it was after the top 16 because I felt like that was the time where I calmed down a bit. Yeah, because during the production number, I was having so much fun, but at the same time, I was so nervous. So after the top 16, I got to show my gown, the swimsuit, and that's where my performance really went up. So I was really grateful for that moment because I felt like I did really great.
Tell us about the first thing that you guys ate after the coronation night.
Did I even eat? Did you? No. We had packed lunches. But yeah, I don't remember.
If there's something that you treated yourself, sige, not necessarily that same night, but after the pageant, what did you guys treat yourself?
I think I had Korean barbecue.
Mine would be either a nice burger or milk tea. Because I've been restraining myself from eating fatty or bad foods to keep my physique. But now that I'm done, I'm gonna eat anything that I want to.
We've got months.
Exactly.
If you could name one best friend that you've learned to have during the entire competition, during the preparation period, which specific candidate did you really come to become close with?
Well, if you start.
Okay, for me it was Marla Orfoque of Car City. Because I call her Ate Marla because she's always been there to boost me up. She's helping me since we're in the same agency. She's giving me advices, pushing me. We're competitors, but I felt like she was more of an ate. She's so supportive. We're in this together. Then I've always told her that I already see you winning this, and she says the same thing, and then we're always there for each other, and I'm really grateful that I had her as an ate, especially in my journey in Hiyas, because I felt like if I was alone and couldn't have an ate figure, I would feel a bit lost and feel a bit outcasted because everyone is really great in the competition. They're all good with their performance, and I felt so insecure. I would doubt myself, and then she was always there to boost me up and support me, especially when I couldn't have my mom with me at that place. So she was the one I would always run to, like, Ate. I would cry to her sometimes.
Yeah. Mine would be Eva Evangeline Fuentes from Pangasinan. She's one of our winners and the runner-ups. We were roommates back in December, so it was actually my duty to wake my roommates up because for some reason they can't wake up from their alarms. And I mean, I could sabotage them anytime I wanted to, but I'm not like that. So Eva appreciated what I did and we grew close, and she shared a very personal story that I really can't share, but it just made me realize that a lot of people, a lot of women go through a lot of things, but despite that, she still went through with this competition, despite the pressure and everything. So I'm glad to have been her friend, and I'm glad to have shared that very personal story with her.
All right. Okay. When we return, we will be getting to know each one of you in detail about your personal advocacies, what you ladies do, and of course the cities that you both represent. So please don't go away. AnDiscoveries will be right back.
Given the adversities and the life-freezing pandemic situation that we all encountered, the tourism industry is greatly challenged by the time being. As a Hiyas ng Pilipinas, how can you be a help to bring back life and boost tourism in our country?
To me, the best solution for that is through connections and networking. And I believe there is no other best way for me to do that than pageants just like Hiyas ng Pilipinas. For I have met different women, queens rather, across Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And I have not only gained Hiyas sisters, but also real-life marketing and influential opportunities that even if I am crowned to be just one queen, I have a whole army beside me to help promote my advocacy and help with our plans. Thank you.
As a Hiyas ng Pilipinas winner, if hopefully I would help boost the tourism, to work with the LGU and hopefully with the Hiyas ng Pilipinas organization in a way to promote the tourism again, to work together as a community, as a nation, and to where we can build our tourism back again together after everything that has happened, especially in the pandemic. And in that way, we can help our country, we can also help the world and everyone, the Filipinos, and make them proud and make other people see that the Philippines is great.
All right, so this time we are going to have a one-on-one session with our two title holders. Let's start with Miss Elite Philippines 2023. She also won Face of Templora, Miss Dynamic Power Bragais Choice Award, Miss Celebrity International, and the Face of Hiyas ng Pilipinas, or Miss Photogenic, of course, representing Tacloban City. Hi again, Aiza.
Hello, Miss Andi. Thank you so much for having me.
So you're representing Tacloban City. Tell us about your roots.
So for Tacloban, I've been born there, but I've been living here in Cebu basically my whole life. My mom is based there. She's like, her whole family is there. But when she gave birth to me, she was there in Tacloban since my grandfather was also assigned there since he's the general of Region 8. Yes, and so far...
Police.
PNP General. And so far we visit almost once a year, especially when we have reunions, family gatherings, and all that.
But this is your first time to join a pageant. Pero in school, you did join mga Miss Intramurals.
I wasn't able to join Miss Intramurals, but I did join this like Miss Buwan ng Wika, but I didn't really put too much focus on it, or like it wasn't that compared to Hiyas, it's nothing much like that. And I joined Miss Milo Little Olympics, and it's more of like finding a representative since there was no Q&A, so I wouldn't consider it as a pageant also.
So kung formal pageant lang, this is actually really your first time.
Yeah.
So who pushed you to join?
I've been interested, like I've been watching Miss Universe shows, like other pageants, and at a young age, I've been thinking like I want to join, but I've never put too much focus because I never had the guts. I've been insecure, and when I found out about Hiyas ng Pilipinas, I was like, I want to join this time. And then mom was like, yeah, go for it. So she's been really supportive. She's the one pushing because she knew that even if I wanted to, she'd be like, I'd be like, no, no, I'm scared, I'm insecure, I have no, I'm so scared to join. Then I contacted my manager. I was actually the last one to attend the screening. I wasn't able, they weren't able to receive my application online. So I was like, maybe this is not for me. But when we went to the screening, I was the last person. Then I was glad that they still accepted me to screen. And then thankfully, I'm here now.
But you say that you have a manager, so you've been into modeling before this.
Yes, I've been in at Stacy's model management since last year. Yeah, so I'm still new in the industry, but I've joined a workshop before, like years ago.
But can you tell us a little bit more about these insecurities that you're telling us? Now, you look really, really beautiful. Insecure pa kaning forma ha. But what were these things that you're insecure about growing up?
It would be mostly my height. Since like we always have a standard, like especially before, where we expect beauty queens to be tall. And then I thought that I couldn't make it because I'm short. And like whenever we were in with my Hiyas Filipina sisters, I'm always the shortest one. So like you see tall one, and then this is me, like it's like that. So I was really insecure of that. And then before I was more of a private person where I was afraid to speak up. And like with this being my first time, it would made it more like scary for me. And I was so afraid with everything that I couldn't do my best. I'm not the same as other, like I would always compare myself to them, like they're already used to this, they're already experienced, they've reached so far. And with me, I'm just the newbie. I'm like the outcast in everyone. And with that, I saw like during my whole Hiyas ng Pilipinas journey that it's more than the height. It's more than the insecurities that I have, the flaws that I have, but it's like what I can contribute. It's like how I inspire others and how like my purpose I can give it to them.
So kumpara nimo ang imuhang insecurity as your height, in what way did you plan to compensate for this insecurity when you're on stage?
So I always like with the poses, I made sure that I look tall with the clothes that I wear, especially the gown, with the swimsuit. Ate Stacy always reminded me, especially with the poses, like always keep your legs straight. Because that would make you tall. Always pull up. That's what Peter Rod told me. Yeah, like pull up, especially when you're walking. Feel like someone is pulling you up for you to feel taller and for everyone to see that you're taller and confident. So in that way, I kept doing that in that way. So yeah.
Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Can you tell us about what you're doing right now? So you are graduating from senior high.
Yes.
How young are you now?
I'm 19 years old. I just turned 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what course are you planning to take in college?
I plan on taking up marketing or entrepreneurship, but now I'm kind of leaning on also to interior designing. But I really hope to go to the business path because my mom has her own business. It's called Implemented Resources, where we offer all-purpose organic cleaners, and we're also into construction, which is my stepdad's business since he is an architect. So,
How about your personal advocacy? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
so I am an advocate of inclusivity. As we are all diverse, I aim to inspire people, empower people to feel capable for who they are. So whether they are short or tall, whether you are privileged or less privileged, they should feel that capability that they are able to do anything that they want. In this way, like we should inspire people, or like tell people that to stop looking down on our differences, but instead use those differences to contribute as one. And that way we can make a better world where we all can embrace one another, where we all can be open with everything and make equal opportunities for all. It's basically an empowerment for everyone.
So why do you need that there's still a need to fight for equality? What are the current stereotypes that you still witness in the society today?
For me, what I personally witness is, again, my height. Since I'm short, I really didn't expect that I would be a part of Hiyas or even win one of the crowns of Hiyas because of my height. But thankfully, Hiyas sees more than that. Hiyas sees more what I can contribute, sees more of my personality, and I'm really grateful that I'm part of them already. I'm part of the family. And with that, I also see stereotypes on like how people treat different, like, well, especially with what they have, with what they can contribute, because they believe that they always have this thing where they think this person has no ability. But for me, I believe that everyone has the ability to do anything they want, as long as they put their mind into it, or like they believe in themselves, because that's what I needed the most, to believe in myself. And here I am, I made it to the Hiyas ng Pilipinas organization.
Can you name one beauty queen that you've always admired? And how is she inspiring you for the next chapters of your journey, given this current title?
Yeah, for me, all beauty queens are great. They've all inspired me, but if I were to really name one, maybe two, it would be Tia and Catriona.
Ano man?
Because I've seen how Catriona has opened the eyes of people and like made everyone's standards go up.
Yes, as
So,
in.
yes.
Usually pa-level up ang
Yeah.
game sa pageantry.
Yeah,
diba?
and I want to be something like that, especially with my flaws, with my insecurities, and being the newbie. I wanna open the eyes of people that I am able, I have the capability to do that, and then I can also bring their standards up. Like every one of us, everyone who aspires to be a beauty queen. And with Tia, I've heard, I haven't met her yet, but I hope to do. And I've heard that she's really down to earth, she's really kind. And I'm what do you call that? I love that, especially with people who has reached so much success in their life. Because what matters more is like how they are to others, their personality, because it all comes to that.
Just to end, is what's your message to all those who are watching this right now and who are just like you, na they've started with insecurities, they feel like they're limited in achieving, not necessarily becoming a beauty queen, but whatever it is that they're setting their goals into, they feel that they're limited because of these insecurities. Unsa lang mo ka-advise sa ila?
First of all, I would want to say thank you for everyone who supported me. Thank you for Hiyas ng Pilipinas organization, and what I would want to tell everyone is to stay inspired, stay motivated, and always believe in yourself, because that's what matters the most, is that you're confident and you have the ability to push yourself. And I believe that you can do anything, that you want if you put your head into it and your heart into it. So you have everyone supporting you, including me and Miss Andi, and we're all here for you. And don't be afraid to step up and go into what you want to do.
Wow. Thank you so much,
Thank you so much, Miss Andi.
And we wish
so
you all the
nervous.
luck. And you have our full support in
Thank
your
you so
next
much.
endeavor. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
This time, we are with Hiyas ng Pilipinas Miss Tourism Queen International Philippines 2022. She also won the awards Miss Water World and Miss Laika Queen, representing my hometown as well,
Yes.
Lapu-Lapu City, Phoebe Godinez.
Hello,
Hi again,
hi.
Phoebe.
Nice to meet you again. We're back.
So, I actually met Phoebe, I think that was last month in one of the events.
Right.
It wasn't the pageant yet, diba?
No,
and then I realized that you're the same Phoebe that I went to school with.
Oh my goodness, right? And I was probably very young at that time. I don't
I
remember.
told your mother at that time, na I felt so old because when what I remembered, I think you and your brother were like, siguro mga preschool pa mo.
Oh, well, definitely, I don't remember. I don't even remember the lessons I've learned, no?
Pero mo stand out good mo back then because you were always chosen to represent like Mr. and Miss UN.
Oh my
diba,
goodness,
during
yes.
programs.
Mr. and Miss PE.
So tell us about your pageant journey. Would you say that you're new to this? I know that this is your second national pageant.
Yes.
But pageants in general, this isn't really something that's your first time to be a part of, right?
Yeah, definitely not. My very first pageant was Miss Lapu-Lapu back in 2016. And really at that time, I kind of joined just like on a whim because I don't know. I don't even know the reason why I wanted to join pageants. Maybe it was to follow my mom or just do something or just elevate myself, and I'm like, hey, I should join pageants. So I started, I knew nothing. I only trained my walk for 2 weeks before the coronation night, so I had zero experience. But from joining since then to Binibining Toledo 2017, and then Miss Mandaue in 2000. Oh my goodness, I don't think I can remember it all. 2018, and then school pageants, and my first national pageant, which was Mr. and Miss Regional and National PASOK, which is Philippine Association of State Universities and Colleges, where I went up against beautiful men and women from different regions in the Philippines. It was held in Davao, and I was the first to win gold for Central Visayas.
Wow.
And so finally, Hiyas ng Pilipinas, and I'm glad to win another gold and another crown.
But tell us about your childhood, Phoebes. Growing up, was this really something that you've always wanted to do? Being that student who is always handpicked by the teacher to represent the class in mga, mga inter-school nga competitions, were you, at that time, did it feel like it was an obligation for you?
Right? Or like it's
to
my
represent
destiny or something?
Kind of mold good ka for this?
I really didn't think about it really. I just thought I got lucky to be picked because I was usually always the tallest in class. So I'm like, okay, it's just a height thing. But I was very boyish during my childhood years. I would wear slacks, and I was the type to wear socks while wearing sandals because I thought it's like ugly and uncomfortable. And I didn't really focus on my studies. I just had my own world as a kid. I was living in my fantasy and not in the real world. And then, until the time I realized, like, I think I should try this out. And it's now a big part of my life, journey pageants.
How different is this specific competition compared to the ones that you've already been a part of?
Well, compared to my last national pageant, this is definitely much bigger, and the competition is way stronger with many more girls from many cities and municipalities around the Philippines. And this was really a serious aim to me. So from what we've learned from previous pageants, we know that we have to focus on building Q&A and my pageant walk, as those are really the most important aspect. So that is what we've been doing ever since the screening, and also making sure that my body stays in shape, because knowing that we were confident Hiyas ng Pilipinas was going to be very big. So of course I'd also want to look good on pictures around the Philippines. So since the screening, actually I lost a lot of weight.
Really?
Yeah, when I look at my pictures back then, I'm like,
So
I'm kind of
what's your secret? What's your secret, Vic? I want to learn.
No, it's really no secret. It's actually just diet and rigorous workout and going to the gym.
What kind of diet?
Not diet specifically, but I would really lessen my intake of sugar and carbs. So I would focus more on muscle building, as if I would lose weight, I also don't want to look too thin.
Yeah.
I needed to look firm and healthy. So that is what my coach, Coach Jogs from Yokok's gym, was training me to do. And he was also helping me to discipline myself with eating. And knowing that I really needed to work hard for this competition, I would go to the gym almost every day for 5 days in a week. Since Typhoon Odette actually is when I really started, because at that time Hiyas had to stall and I didn't have any modeling gigs, so I'm like, I might as well use this time to go to the gym.
How does it feel like to be in the presence of equally beautiful ladies? How do you maintain being friends and competitors at the same time?
It's actually not that hard as many people might think, that we're competitive, we sabotage each other by, I don't know, stealing shoes or ripping gowns. But I've heard that happen, but so far it's never happened. It almost felt like there wasn't a competition, and we would only really compete with each other when we would be on stage. Like we just do our own thing, but outside from that, we have really built a family and a sisterhood within each other.
Tell us about your advocacy, Phoebes.
Yes, my advocacy, I am now a very strong localista, or an advocate for sustainable tourism, and I am planning to be a budding social entrepreneur. And I have been working with Mami Dexter Alasas in his new project Shop and Share, where we gather local artisans from different municipalities and help them showcase their local artworks and for them to start a business and a livelihood for themselves. Because part of sustainable tourism, you might think, is about the environment, making sure we don't cut too many trees or keeping the place clean, but tourism also involves different products such as culture, and sustaining our culture, I think, is very important as we maintain our identity as Filipinos as time goes by.
So what specific products would you like to focus on? Is it like fashion?
Yes,
clothing?
for us, I would like to focus on fashion. I actually want to start learning how to sew. I'm a very DIY type of person. I've even cut my own hair at one point during quarantine. I've started to do my own nails and everything, just taking care of myself. And I realized if I could also create something with regard to sustainable tourism, like upcycle recycled materials and make them into clothes, and make clothes that fit women and not give the impression that women have to fit into the clothes. So if I could do something that would help give them confidence, at the same time promote our culture, that would be really great.
So how do you think this current title would give you more leverage in achieving the goals that you want to achieve for this specific advocacy?
A lot of publicity would be really great, actually, and especially that I am going to present myself not nationally anymore but internationally. It would be a great opportunity for not only Lapu-Lapu City but the whole Philippines to show what Filipinas can do and how beautiful our culture really is.
How do you see pageants evolve through the years, Phoebes? Since, of course, again, this is not your first time, how has it changed, the whole events and pageants industry in the Philippines?
Well, apart from being very expensive as compared to before.
Really?
Yes.
Kailangan siya like the whole budget.
Very, because my mom used to be a pageant queen before, and during that time, you earn money and you can actually pay your tuition in school with what you've earned. But nowadays, it has gotten very competitive. We have to spend for styling, for clothes, your makeup artist,
The photographer, videographer.
exactly, training food, and like other pasabog you want to do with yourself to boost your image.
Is this because
online.
of social media?
Yes, primarily because of social media as well. And that's also a big change. But apart from that, I think pageantry has also been a great platform, and people realize that they can speak out on their advocacies just like me and really speak about issues that need to be spoken. Because it's sort of like a rally, but a very beautiful and creative rally. Apart from just carrying placards, we're walking in our heels and you're here to notice and listen to us.
Have you noticed also that it has also become more inclusive compared to how pageants were in the past?
Yes, I can definitely say so. Especially some pageants are allowing trans women to compete alongside with naturally born women.
What's your stand on that? Okay, na.
Yeah, no problem. I do. To me, it really doesn't matter if I would compete with a trans woman, because, like I said, pageantry has evolved its platform, and with women, for me, we're looking at people now who can carry out their advocacies and the mission of the pageant itself. And to me, skills and experiences know no gender. So if you have the competency and capabilities to be the queen that they're looking for, then why not?
Now that we're touching on the topic of acceptance, I'd just like to hear your thoughts. Like right now, Manggod, back then, cosmetic surgery for women is usually spoken in hushed tones. Murag, you really don't flaunt it. Diba? Usahim ka i-deny. But karon, I've been noticing a trend nowadays among women na murag, they're okay na gid kay sila to talk about it, to admit it, about the cosmetic enhancements that they've done on their faces. What do you think about that?
I'm actually glad that people are now open to that, because, well, it's 2022, and like those mindsets are, I think, should be behind us, because plastic surgery is meant to enhance, and I encourage holistic plastic surgery, of course. And it's, love yourself, and if it's not good for your health, if you're not satisfied with how you look, then science has the ability to make you happy this time.
Ito,
diba?
if you can afford it, why
Right,
not?
if you can afford it. And like I know you should be happy with what you're born with, but should you feel happier and more confident to enhance something, then I think go for it. Especially in this competition with very competitive girls, it's kind of a thing that, you know, we need to also step up our game in Q&A and, well, our physique.
Physically.
Yes.
All right. Phoebes, any message that you would like to share to all of your supporters? And at the same time, if there are certain words of advice that you'd also like to give to those aspiring beauty queens, what would that be?
Okay, so I'd like to really thank everyone who supported me in my pageant ever since my very first pageant, Miss Lapu-Lapu, and Hiyas, and in the future, Miss Tourism Queen International. I still hope you guys would be with me and be my army in conquering the stage and the crown. And with regards to having a message is that for men, women, and LGBTQ out there, if you want to be successful and pursue your dreams, you have to really put in the effort and work hard for it. And don't forget to work smart as well.
Wow. Thank you so much, Phoebe. And as what we told is, we are here to rally behind all of your future endeavors. So good luck.
Thank you so much, Miss Andi. Thank you for having me in my TV.
Thank you so much. So there you have it. We hope that you've learned from these two beautiful beauty queens in today's episode. This has been Andi for AnDiscoveries.